Hello. We shall be doing What If Deku Was Joker 18 plus. We can see two heroes, one named Miss Joke and one named Eraserhead, at night in a bar. We can also see Midnight and Crimson Riot. And we now will cut to a hotel room. And we can see a woman waking up, and she grabs a blanket, puts it up to her chest because she realized she's not wearing any clothes, and she feels somebody next to her. That she looks at her side, and she sees Eraserhead and Miss Joke. Silently, she gets her clothes and puts them on and leaves. She hops into her car, drives off to her house, but she feels like she has to throw up. And she gets a pregnancy test, and turns out she's pregnant. 9 months later, she is in a hospital room having her child. She names him Izuku, but she can't take care of him, so she gives him up to an orphanage. And we shall cut to 6 years later. Now, Deku's quirk here, it basically allows him to erase his quirks when he laughs. When he laughs. It also gives him super strength and super speed. Okay? And now we shall cut to Deku sitting on his bed and facing against a wall. All the kids dead silent, scared of him because of his quirk. And that's when they hear from the head lady, "Come on, kids, come to the yard. We have a newcomer." They all head to the yard and they meet a new kid. He is tall. One side of his face normal, second one burnt, twisted, and mangled looking. And Deku, looking at him, immediately takes an interest. So, after all of them have introduced themselves, he walks up to him and asked, "Hello there," in a twisted voice. "What's your name?" The boy says, stuttering, "Harvey Dent." Sorry for the pause. "Well, hello there, Harvey. My name's Izuku, but most people here just call me the Joker." "Now, my friend, would you like to join my circus?" Sure, Harvey says, stuttering. "Excellent. Now that's name, Harvey. That won't do. How about," he says while thinking, "Two-Face." Harvey says, Sure. And we must stop all that nervousness and whining bullcrap." And Harvey turns his face to the burnt side and says, "Sure." Excellent. And now we shall cut to 10 years later. Two-Face and Deku meet up in the cafeteria, and Deku says, "Meet me at night here. We have business to attend do. Okay? Two-Face says. Now we fast forward to tonight. Deku waiting in the cafeteria with 2 duffel bags full of something. We don't know yet. And then he sees Two-Face walking up to him and says, "Okay, boss, what's this all about?" Okay, hello there, Two-Face. Now we have some substances, some narcotics to sell, my friend. Okay? You shall go down to the more poorer community so you can truly get started. Okay? Okay, boss. Excellent. And now we see Deku walking through the rich part of a neighborhood, trying to sell some drugs, the usual. But then he sees a mugging outside in an alleyway of a theater. Deku walks up to the robber, grabs his gun, and shoots him in the head. And then he laughs. The man says, "Thank you." But Deku says, "No need," as he shoots at the man. And then he shoots the woman. Hearing the kid screams as he's laying in the puddle of his own parents' blood. As Deku... Why are you not smiling, kid? You should always lead this world with a smile. And that's when Deku hears, "Halt! Halt, put your hands up." Deku grabs the kid, points a gun to his head and says, "If you fucking do shit to me, I'll kill the kid." The doc officer puts his gun down, lowers his gun and says, "Okay, we don't need to do anything." And that's when Deku pushes the kid right to the police officer, booking it the other direction as he hears gunshots behind him. He climbs a wall, runs to the orphanage. Leaning up against a wall, he pants heavily. And then he hears Two-Face walking up to him, saying, "Hey, boss, you okay?" "Yes, I just, dealt with some people." "Okay, boss." "Say, boss, I, had an idea. Would you like to hear it?" "Yeah, sure. Could be worse. Could be a bad idea." "Alright, we could try out for the UA entrance exam so we could get intel on the heroes." "Why would we do that? Why bother? We're not gonna, kill them." "Really, boss? Please. These heroes, we need to truly take them down a peg. Truly stuck up. They barely have the title or the privileges that we don't. Or, they do have the privilege. Yeah, they have many privileges that we don't. But they can't call themselves heroes. So, how about we knock this hero society down a few pegs?" Deku says, "Genius, my friend. So, what do we need to do for this entrance exam bullcrap?" Basically, what we gotta do is fill out this little sheet of paper, fill out this computer file and send it to them, okay? Alright, let's fill this fucking thing out. And then Deku and Two-Face, they fill it out. They barely put what they asked for. Name. Deku puts Deku. Two-Face, Harvey. Quirks. Alright. And that's when Deku puts his quirk. And this is Harvey. And this is Two-Face's quirk. Basically, one side of his body the burn side, allows him to absorb his opponent's energy. Their power, well, not power, their energy. Stamina. Yeah, that's the word. And then his other side allows him to take any damage and use that damage for strength. And then they put where they want the letter to be sent. And then they send it out to UA. And that's when we cut to a few months later. Harvey and Deku get dressed, they take a shower, they eat breakfast, then they go off to UA. And when they walk through the gates, they see a girl trip, and that's when Deku grabs her collar and pulls her up. And he says, "Careful now, darling. You should really watch your step." As the girl named Uraka says, "Thank you." "It's no problem." And that's when they walk into the written exam podium area. Auditorium. And that's when the written exam starts. I'll just fast forward a bit for you guys so you don't have to listen to all that. Deku gets 10th place and Harvey gets 3rd place. Okay? And that's when President Mike says, "Hello there, my little listeners," walking onto the stage, saying, "Alright, there are 3 robots. One robot's worth 3 points, one robot's worth 2 points, and the other one..." But when he was about to explain the 3rd robot, that's when a kid with engines in his legs stands up and says, "Oh yes, there seems to be a mistake on the paper. You have only listed 2 robots, but it says here there are 3 robots. And if this is a printing mistake on UA's parts, they should be ashamed, because this is very unprofessional for the best UA, for the best school in Japan, Hero School." And then President Mike says, "Oh, sir, young man, I was about to explain the 3rd robot." And that's when Ida bows down and says, "Sorry," sits down, and then that's when we see them all walking out. And Deku got bus A and Two-Face got bus B. Okay? And that's when Deku's just stretching, drinking some water for his quirk. And then he sees Uraka looking a bit nervous, so he walks up to her, and that's when Ida puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "Okay, if you are trying to distract that girl, she already looks like she's trying her best, so you should not distract her." Deku says, "I was just going over there to console her. She looked nervous, jackass." Ida says, "No, there's no way to talk to me. Who are you? I don't really care." "My name is Tenya Ida." "Oh. The creature, a rich bitch, a rich boy. Yeah, don't care. Get the fuck out of my face." Ida, appalled at that Deku would dare speak to him, tries to speak to him, grabs Deku's shoulder, trying to speak to him, and then Deku just grabs his arm and breaks one of his fingers, saying, "Now, if you try to put your hands on me one more time, all of your other fingers are getting broken. Do I make myself clear?" Spit it out! Yes, good. Now learn along." Deku walks up to Uraka and says, "Hey, no need to be worried. You're gonna do fine." She says, "Thank you. What's your quirk?" "Oh, my quirk." He basically explains his quirk to her, and that's when they hear, "Go!" President Mike's voice blaring across the intercoms, and that's when Deku, not skipping a beat, bolts through the crowd, breaking a few robots, like a few 3-pointers, a few 2-pointers. And that's when President Mike says, What do you mean? There's no countdowns in a real battle. Go, follow that kid." That's when everybody bolts, and that's when Deku sees a boy with blonde hair. Wait, no, not a boy. A girl with blonde hair, exploding everything. All the robots. Deku puts her off as interesting. And that's when the physical part of the entrance exam, Deku helped a few people that here and there, but not many. But that's when they hear rumbling, tank treads, breaking of concrete. That's when the 0-pointer is there. Deku says, "That's interesting." He says, "But it's worth no points, so I'll just leave." Deku runs off like everybody else, but that's when he hears, "Please, help," from a girl trapped underneath rocks. It's the explosion blonde girl. Damn it! How did this thing get on me? Deku runs on over there, picks it up, breaks it, and then picks her up, bridal style, bolts, places her on the ground safely, then bolts back, and then he jumps high. Then he about to fall. Then he grabs onto the 0-pointer's leg, and runs up it. And then he breaks a bit of the metal off, getting into the wiring, tearing it apart, everything. Get rid of all of its weapons, stop it moving. And that's when he hears, and that's when Deku gets out of it, and an explosion behind him. The 0-pointer has exploded, so that's cool. Other kids are looking at this dude like he's a madman, because, well, he did just destroy a fucking 0-pointer. But that's when Deku leaves, the entrance exam is ended. And that's when Deku meets up with Two-Face, talking. And that's when he hears, "Hey, yo, extra." Huh? And that's when he sees the blonde girl, and he says, "Hello, what do you want?" I'm just here to say thank you. You didn't need to save me. I could have done that myself. Deku, laughing, says, "Alright, explode the thing?" Yes. I doubt that. You looked quite stuck underneath there. She says, "Hey. Anyways. By the way, what's your name?" "Katsuki Bakugo." "What's yours?" "Izuku." What's your last name?" "Don't know. Don't really have one. Don't have one." "Oh. Who's your who's a freak over here?" "Ah, that's Harvey." "Huh. Why's half of his face look like a pepperoni pizza?" "I have no idea. Neither. That's his. He hasn't really told me." Alright. So, this is when she gives Deku her number, and he and Two-Face give her theirs. They both leave. All three of them leave. And that's when we cut to the orphanage. And that's when they're waiting for the letters to come. And that's when the headmistress of the orphanage said, "Hey, Izuku and Harvey." Yes, they both say. The UA entrance exam letters came. Thanks. They get it. They head to the little rooms that they both share. See, the orphanage that they're in has these rooms, and two people are in them. Deku and Two-Face share a room. And that's when they open them up and see a Dick's thing. And that's when they turn them on, and that's when they see a projection of All Might saying, "Hello there! A projection is here!" Okay, who's that? Okay, the jackass. Anyways, now, young Izuku. Now, young Midoriya. All Might says doesn't, because Deku put his name as Midoriya, last name as Midoriya was the first thing he came into his mind. You got 10,000 rescue points and 50 hero points. 10,000 hero villain points and 50 rescue points. Sorry. And young Harvey Dent, you got 9,000 villain points and 70 hero rescue points. You, young young Midoriya, got first place in the physical exam, and you, young Dent, also you got second place. Written exam, but you probably already know that. Now, welcome to your Hero Academia. They get accepted, a few months go by, and the first day is here. They head on over to UA, wear the uniform. Harvey and him don't really mind them. Deku wished it was more colorful, but he doesn't really care. He likes the suit. And that's when they get a little piece of paper with Class 1A on it. Both of them. They both search around for a little bit, trying to find the Class 1A door, and that's when they see a giant door with labeled Class 1 with 1A on it. So they assume this must be it. Why is the door so big? I have no idea. It's confusing. Maybe giants go to the school. Maybe the principal just wants us to be scared of a door. That would be funny. Good point. Then that's when they both walk into the classroom. And that's when they hear arguing between two students, Ida and Bakugo. But Ida is basically complaining to her that she should put her legs down from the desk. And that's when Deku walks up to him and says, "Hello there." "Hello, Bakugo." "Oh, hey." And that's when Ida looks at him and says, "Oh, you." "Hello, Engine Boy." "Engine Boy? My name is Tenya Ida." "Yeah, I don't care, Engine Boy." "Say, back off, my friend, or I'll give you some more fingers. I'll give you more broken fingers, if you know what I mean." Threaten me? That is very unhero-like, and I don't care what heroes think. Back the fuck off, or I break your hand. Ida, now raising his hand, puts it on Deku's shoulder, and that's when Deku grabs his hand and grips tightly on it, hurting his hand, bringing Ida down to his knees and he looks down at him, bends one leg to stare him face to face and says to his face, "Listen, I already told you this once. If I ever see you trying to put your hand on me again, you know what will happen." Putting more pressure into Ida's wrist, and that's when Deku hears, "All right, that's enough." And then they turn, and that's when he sees a caterpillar, it looks like, on the floor. He says, "Oh, our teacher's a caterpillar? That's weird." Not a caterpillar. I wish. That's when the caterpillar stands up, unzips itself. Turns out it was a sleeping bag, not a caterpillar. Suspicious. And that's when a man named Eraserhead steps on out. And they say, "Hi." Throwing a UA tracksuit at Deku, says, "All of you, put these on, and then meet me at the training field, okay?" And that's when Uraraka, getting there, says, "What about orientation?" "Orientation? As a hero, you won't have time for all these pointless ceremonies. So put these on and go outside, okay?" Deku and Two-Face, understandably not wanting to anger his Eraserhead, they leave. And that's when Deku and Two-Face puts it on pretty quickly. They go outside before everybody else, and that's when Eraserhead, sleeping, wakes up and says, "Oh, I didn't think you guys would be this fast. What'd you think? We were slow? Villains don't wait for us to get dressed." Logical ones. I like them. I like you two already. And that's when three of them wait for the other classmates. And that's when they see a boy with balls on his head, with one of his eyes looked like it was poked. And Deku asked, "Hey, yo, ball kid." "Yes." "What happened to your eye?" Yeah. And that's when a boy with yellow hair with black streaks says he found a peephole in the bathroom with the locker rooms and was trying to look at the girls. "Oh, you're a fucking weirdo." "Hey, man, I was merely trying to... shut the fuck up, I don't care." And that's when Eraserhead says, "Hey, yo, Izuku." Or Deku, whatever your name is. "Yeah. You're regretting not doing more attention now. I'll learn your names later." "Okay, what you need?" Chucking a ball at Deku, says, "Throw this as far as you can with your quirk." What was your highest ball throw in middle school?" "I don't know. They never let me really throw." "Oh, okay. Well, now you'll learn." Deku gets into the circle and reels back his arm and throws it, getting around 100,000 kilometers. Or miles, however long you want to do it. And that's when all the kids, startled by it, but except for Harvey. Harvey being a good boy and working for Deku. But that's when Harvey goes up does it. And I think that's where I will end it off for this episode. Like, subscribe, like if you guys, comment if you guys want part 2. Bye.